In today's class, I have planned to discuss about a very important chapter, that's force and laws of motion. In this topic, we will be learning about the meaning of force and the importance of force. Fine. As we know that, as we learned in the lower class, that force is a push or a pull which changes or tends to change the position or the motion of a body. Yes, I repeat, force is a push or pull which changes or tends to change the state of motion of a body or the state of position of a body. Why do we need force? In our day-to-day life, to change the direction of a body, we apply force. For example, to change the direction of bicycle, we apply our muscular force. Force is required to change the shape of a body. For example, when we press a balloon, the shape of the balloon will change. Whenever we apply our force on the materials which are in the form of molten state, fluid form, when we apply, the shape of the body will change. For example, a blacksmith, when he hammers the iron metal becomes a iron sheet. So in order to change the shape of a body, we apply force. And we also apply force to lift a body. For example, to lift a bucket of water, we apply force. Or to pull a body. For example, to pull a pot of water from the open well, we need to pull a body. So, to pull a body, we need to apply force. To push the door, or to pull the door, we need to apply force. So, force is required to change the direction of a body, to change the motion of a body, to change the position of a body, to change the shape of a body, to pull a body, to push a body, we apply force. Yes, in our day-to-day life, we have come across balanced forces and unbalanced forces. Yes, the first one is balanced forces. What are balanced forces? A boy sitting on the bench is experiencing balanced forces. The force exerted by the boy, his weight is vertically downward, and the force exerted by the bench on the boy is vertically upward. These two forces are equal and opposite. Like this, they are equal and opposite. Such forces are said to be balanced forces. The balanced forces may act during the rest or during the motion of a body. Even when a boy is riding a bicycle, there are balanced forces. Look here. Suppose here is a seat and a boy is sitting on the seat. This is the weight of the boy, weight of the person who is sitting on the bicycle seat. This is seat. And this is the force exerted by the spring that are fitted just below the seat, springs are there. Springs. Here are some springs. The force exerted by the spring on the boy, on the person, is vertically upward. This force is known as reaction. If weight is equal to reaction, then that passenger, that person will be always on the seat. If reaction is more, that person will jump away from the seat. If the weight of the person, if the action is more, then that person will go down. So, if reaction and action are equal and opposite, that person will be in the same position, whether the bicycle is moving or whether the boy is sitting on the bench. Such forces are known as balanced forces. What are balanced forces? Balanced forces are those forces which are acting upon a system or which are acting upon a body and do not bring any change in the body. Balanced forces are those forces which are acting upon a system, which are acting upon a body and do not bring any change in the system or any change in the body. Such forces are known as balanced forces. For example, a book is kept on the table. A book is kept on the table. There is a table here. Here is a book. A book is kept on the table. The weight of the book is vertically downward. The reaction of the table is vertically upward. If weight is equal and opposite to reaction, then the book will be at rest. A man sitting on the chair, a passenger sitting on the seat, balanced forces. Okay? So during the balanced forces, the total force acting upon the system is 0. The net force acting upon the system is 0. So balanced forces are those forces which are acting upon a system simultaneously and do not bring any change in the system. Okay. Now we will go to unbalanced forces. What are unbalanced forces? They are those forces which are acting upon the system simultaneously and do bring some change in it. For example, a person holding a suitcase, leaving it, a suitcase left from the hand, or a bucket of water left from the hand, a book slipped down from the hand, an umbrella slipped down from the hand, a person falling from the horse, or a person falling from the chair. These are all the examples of unbalanced forces. Unbalanced forces are those forces which are acting upon the system simultaneously and do bring some change in it. Fine. Okay. Now I will move on to the unit of force. Basically, force is a vector quantity which has direction. Force is a vector quantity which has direction. If you apply a force on the ball will go in the direction of applied force. So force is a vector quantity. If you apply force on the javelin will go in the direction of applied force. If you lift a bucket of water, the bucket will go in the direction of applied force. Okay, so force is a vector quantity which has direction. The object always will go in the direction of applied force. Okay, fine. This we all have experienced in athletics in day-to-day life. Fine. If a boy is kicking a ball, kicking a football, the football will go in the direction of applied force. If a cricketer is throwing a ball, the ball will go in the direction of applied force. If the cricketer hits the ball with a bat, the ball will go in the direction of applied force. Yes, the object will go in the direction of applied force. Right? We all have experienced it in our day-to-day life. Fine. Then coming to a very important aspect, that's about the unit of force. Unit of force is Newton. Newton, to honor Sir Isaac Newton, the unit of force is named as Newton. To honor Newton, Sir Isaac Newton, who discovered many things, who discovered the gravitational force of Earth. The universe is made because of the gravitational force. Fine. So, the SI unit of force is Newton. Okay. A very important factor, that is mass. What is mass? Mass is the matter of a body. For example, if you take a solid body, this solid body has the solid matter, water has liquid matter, gas has, air has gaseous matter. What is mass? Mass is the matter. Whether that matter is in the form of liquid state, solid state, gaseous state, plasma state, whatever it may be. So mass of a body is the matter possessed by the body. Matter possessed by a body. Matter contained by a body is known as mass. My mass is 63 kg. What is the mass of my body? 63 kg. What is that 63 kg? It is including bones, that muscles, blood, gas, all together. The mass of my body is 63 kg. Okay. What is the mass of this body? Maybe some 250 grams. So, mass means it is the matter possessed by a body. It is the matter contained by a body. How do we measure mass? How do we measure mass? We measure mass by weighing machine, electronic weighing machine, or common balance. Mass is a scalar quantity which has no direction. It is measured in terms of kilograms. Mass is measured in terms of kilograms, kg. Kg is the SI unit of mass. What is weight? Weight is the force with which the body is attracted towards the center of Earth. What is the difference between mass and weight? Mass and weight. Mass is the matter contained in a body. Mass is the matter possessed by a body. Weight is the force with which the body is attracted towards the center of Earth. This mass is scalar, which has only magnitude, but weight is a vector quantity which has both magnitude and direction. This mass is measured in terms of kg in SI system. Weight is measured in terms of Newton. Force and weight are same. Mass is denoted by the symbol M. Weight is denoted by the symbol W. Mass is measured by weighing machine, common balance. electronic weighing machine. Weight is measured by spring balance. Spring balance, which gives the weight of a body. And this weight of the body changes from place to place. Weight depends on gravity. How do we write? Mass is equal to force by acceleration. Whereas weight is equal to mass into acceleration due to gravity. So weight depends on the value of g. As the acceleration due to gravity changes from place to place, so weight of the body changes from place to place. How do we calculate my weight? My weight is equal to my mass into acceleration due to gravity here. Here at physics lab, suppose the acceleration due to gravity is 9.8 and my mass is 62 kg. The 62 into 9.8 gives the weight of my body. If I go to moon, what will be my weight? My weight will be less because the acceleration due to gravity on moon is less. How much? That is, my mass remains same wherever I go. Whether I go to moon or Jupiter, wherever I go, mass of my body remains same. Only weight changes as g changes. What is the value of g on moon? 1.6. So 1.6 Newton. 62 into 1.6 is less than 62 into 9.8. So weight of my body on earth is more. Weight of my body on moon is less. Weight changes from place to place as it depends on the value of g. What is g? Acceleration due to gravity. This acceleration due to gravity also depends on gm by r square. G, the gravitational constant, is a universal constant. M is the mass of planet. R is the radius of the planet. If you go to Earth and moon radius is less. Okay, mass is less. Therefore, G is less. But on Earth, radius is more, mass is more. Therefore, the value of G of Earth is more. Okay, so mass of the earth is more, therefore the value of g on earth is more. Mass of the moon is less, therefore the value of g on moon is less. So g depends on mass and radius. Even on the earth, the value of g is not constant. It changes as the radius of the earth is not constant. If you correctly draw the earth is not perfectly sphere. It is flattened. The radius of the earth at the equator is more. Figure is exaggerated. But the radius of the earth at the polar region is less. Smaller the radius, larger the value of g. Therefore, at the polar region, the value of g on the earth is more, where the radius is less. Smaller the radius, larger the value of g. Here at the equator, radius of the earth is more. Therefore, at the equator, the value of g is less. Larger the radius, smaller the value of g. Even on the earth, the value of g is not constant, but that 9.8 is an approximate value of g. Okay, so far we discussed about the differences between mass and weight. What is mass? Mass is the matter possessed by a body. It may be liquid, solid or gaseous, plasma, whatever. Mass is measured in kg in SI system. Mass is a scalar quantity. Mass is calculated by a formula force upon the acceleration produced in the body. The force applied on the body and the acceleration produced in the body, their ratio gives us the inertial mass. Weight. Weight is the force with which the body is attracted towards the center of the earth. Weight is a vector quantity. It has both magnitude and direction. Weight is measured in Newton. The SI unit of weight is Newton. And weight is calculated by the formula weight is equal to mass into acceleration due to gravity. As the value of g changes from place to place, weight also changes. So this is about the differences between mass and weight. Now I will discuss about what is inertia. What is inertia? Inertia is the property of a body by virtue of which the body at rest remains at rest, the body in motion remains in motion. Inertia. In Kannada we call it Jadatva. Inertia depends on mass. Larger the mass of a body, larger will be the inertia. Inertia means opposed to change. Inertia is the property of a body by virtue of which the body at rest remains at rest, the body in motion remains in motion. We have come across in our classroom a chair kept remains at rest until somebody comes and picks it up or pulls it or pushes it. A duster kept on the table remains at the same position unless somebody comes and picks it up. So the body at rest remains at rest. The body in motion remains in motion. This tendency is known as inertia. So inertia is the property of a body by virtue of which the body at rest remains at rest, the body in motion remains in motion. Okay, so inertia depends on what? Inertia depends on mass. Suppose if we have a elephant and a donkey, elephant has more mass, so its inertia is more. Donkey has less mass, its inertia is less. More the mass, more the inertia, more the force is required to push the body. Okay, so there are three types of inertia. Inertia of rest, inertia of rest, inertia of motion, inertia of direction. Remember, inertia means it is the property of a body by virtue of which the body at rest remains at rest, the body in motion remains in motion. There are three types of inertia: inertia of rest, inertia of motion, inertia of direction. What is inertia of rest? It is the tendency of a body at rest remains at rest. The tendency of a body at rest remains at rest. Some examples. Yes, a person standing in a stationary bus, a passenger standing in a stationary bus. When the bus suddenly moves, the passenger falls backward. He experiences a backward force due to inertia of rest. When we shake a branch of tree, the dry leaves, the fruits fall down due to inertia of rest. When we spread a cloth, either wet cloth or a cloth of dust particles, water droplets we have experienced in our daily life. Whenever we wash the cloth, we rinse it and we spread it, water droplets will go away because of inertia of rest. Whenever we spread a blanket, dust particles will fall down when the blanket comes in motion due to inertia of rest. When we hit the bottom coin of the Karen coins, only the bottom coin comes and remaining coins fall down due to inertia of rest. We have experienced that whenever we keep a plain card on the tumbler, empty tumbler, and over that one coin is kept, When the card is pushed, only the card will move, the coin will drop into the tumbler. Inertia of rest. What is that? It is the tendency of a body at rest remains at rest. When we take out the tablecloth, only the tablecloth will come out. The things that were present on the tablecloth remains at rest due to inertia of rest. What is inertia of motion? It's the tendency of a body in motion remains in motion. It's the tendency of a body in motion remains in motion. For example, when we come down, when we get down from the moving train, we should move in the direction of train, because when we are sitting in the moving train, we will have that momentum. When we immediately get down from the moving train, we should run in the direction of motion of the train. Yes, another example I will give you. A passenger sitting in the moving bus. When the bus suddenly stops, when the driver of the bus applies the brakes, he will experience a force. He will experience a forward force. And we have also experienced a passenger standing in the moving bus. When the bus suddenly stops, the passenger will fall forward due to inertia of motion. Yes, the luggage kept on the bus is tied with a rope. Otherwise, what will happen? When the bus moves, the luggage will fall down. Or when the luggage is not tied, what will happen? When the driver of the moving bus applies the brakes, then luggage will fall forward. A person who is sitting on the running horse, when the horse suddenly stops, what will happen? The person will jump forward due to inertia of motion. Yes, what is inertia of direction? It is the tendency of a body moving in a particular direction will keep moving in the same direction. It is the tendency of a body moving in a particular direction keep moving in the same direction. For example, when the driver of the bus suddenly takes a turn, the passenger sitting in the bus will experience an outward force. When the bicycle rider suddenly takes a turn, he will experience an outward force due to inertia.